What's up, Chads, and welcome to the video. So today I wanted to talk about the Terra Luna controversy, which has been going on for the last couple of days, especially as of last night, because US Terra completely lost its peg and it caused the market, which was already crashing, to crash even further. One of the probably the worst days we've had of 2022, and as we all know, 2022 hasn't been a good year so far. Yes, you can just have a look at the price of Luna now, back to $30. I think it is the lowest yesterday, it dropped to I think $23, something like that, $24. Guess it depends which centralized exchange you're looking on. But yeah, it dropped all the way down to almost $24, and you can see just in the last week where it's dropped from almost 90, going all the way down to $24. Yeah, so I just wanted to explain a little bit about what's happened, my point of view, and what that means looking forward into the future. So basically, in a nutshell, what happened was Terra as a stablecoin. It's a decentralized stablecoin, right? So the difference between this and USDC, USDT, or BUSD or something like that is centralization. So for USDC, for example, for every dollar market cap they have a dollar stored away in a bank to back the asset, right? And because it's backed by fiat money, it's centralized, whereas Terra USD is pegged to the dollar, but it isn't backed by dollars, so it's completely decentralized. Now, Terra is backed by the Luna token, basically, and that's in a nutshell how their protocol works and how they manage to have a stable coin that is continuously pegged to the US dollars and functions correctly. They've got a mechanism in the contract that up to now has been pretty trustworthy. But yeah, as of the last couple of days, as you can see here from the chart, let's go on to the 7-day chart there. You can see it's completely fallen. It fell all the way down to about like 60. I think it was like 67 cents at the bottom, something like that. Again, depends which exchange you're looking on. But yeah, it completely lost its peg. And so, from what I've gathered from research I've done and speaking to other guys, some of my friends in the space, is the owner of Luna decided to buy a significant amount of Bitcoin. Now he decided to do this, if we take a look at the Bitcoin chart here. Now he decided to buy this at a point where Bitcoin was in this downtrend. I mean, just look at the state of Bitcoin at the moment. I mean, we go up there to the 29th of March, really. Yeah, pretty much the 29th of March. We haven't really had any green days whatsoever. We could probably say this here from 18th of April up until the 21st. It's probably the only green action, really, the only green days we've had. And so that's a month and a half now, 6, 7, 8 weeks. We've had 2 or 3 green days, and that's it. It's going down. So anyway, the owners of Luna bought a huge amount of Bitcoin, which a lot of people in the ecosystem they bought that to back UST. Then a bunch of guys, obviously within their ecosystem, some big players, they weren't happy about that, and they decided to sell off a load of US Terra. Sorry. I guess it was kind of a coordinated attack. Their aim was to kind of try to depeg the UST, and obviously it works. It started to depeg. Now the team over at Luna kind of understood what was happening, and they were trying to fight back against this, and which it did work a couple of times. We just head back over to USD Terra. It doesn't really show it so well in here because it kind of came unpegged a couple of times on the 8th and the 9th from these attacks, but last night was really when things kicked off. They couldn't really control it anymore. And it just completely depegged. It didn't help, that the market was already, since 5-6 days now, 6 days. I mean, just look at this. Just look at these big red candles coming down. Ever since the 5th of May, we've just had like really big red bloody days. BTC has dropped all the way from 40k. Right, it's lost over 10k in 5 days. So all this bleeding out in the market wasn't helping. So the third attempt to depeg the UST, it worked this time. The price became unpegged, which then obviously caused more panic within the crypto space, crypto community, which caused even more sell-offs in the overall market. and everybody came panicked and everyone was selling out, and yeah, that's kind of what caused this huge sell-off, not only in UST and Luna, but in the whole Bitcoin market in general. And so yeah, what the reason why Luna's dropping so obviously people just wanted to get out of their ecosystem and protocol because of how unstable and all the panic and stuff like that. But then you've also got the guys in Terra and then selling their Luna in order to try and keep the price of Terra USD pegged, and that's one of the reasons why Luna has dropped so much as well. So I mean, the reason why this is pretty bad is because if it does turn out that these decentralized stablecoin protocols are really this vulnerable and this weak to the attacks, it's just not good news for the crypto community as a whole. I mean, it really would be a big blow to the crypto world as a whole, really. Now, obviously, since then, the price has recovered so it has come up back now to 0.9, I think, something like that. But it's still not recovered back to the peg. So what we want to see, obviously, in the near future is the guys at Luna can really, make some smart decisions from now and really try and get that peg back. And then, obviously, make some altercations within their protocol to assure that, something like this doesn't happen again. And, so it's something that was a really bad day in cryptocurrency in general. Looking at the price of Bitcoin, already we've been in a downtrend for a long time, like I was saying, since the 29th of March. We haven't had any positivity really in the space. The last few days has been really, really bad, and then obviously that happens as well. In terms of the overall market, Bitcoin has always had a really strong support around this 30k level, and it held again today. Obviously price rebounded, and where it's going to go from there, who knows. I don't like really to do technical analysis videos and give them my predictions because really it's impossible to tell where the price is going to go in the future. All we can do really is look at critical price levels, and if price really starts to go down well, we can start dollar cost averaging in some good positions. And let's just go back there and just take a look at the Anchor protocol. So this is a protocol a lot of the guys in the Luna ecosystem use. And you can see here just how much UST had been deposited since last year. You can see how much the protocol has grown. It's been really successful all the way up to, I think it was around about, almost up to 14 billion UST up until the 4th of May, and this fall off now, only 6 million left in the protocol. So it's million, not billion, sorry. And so it's been a sad 24 hours really. I really hope for the sake of DeFi and crypto that Luna can come out the other end and manage to recover to where they were before with a new and improved protocol. So for all those guys that did buy the dip, there was opportunities to get Luna here at like $24, did I say, something like that. If you have got trust in the system and their protocol, you had a chance to buy a stable coin at 67 cents. I'm absolutely not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that because obviously, as I say, we don't know where the price of Bitcoin is going in the near future. For all we know, it could even test lower levels. There would be another big support here around the 27, 28k, and then we'll see another big one at 24k. I'd be really surprised if even during like a bear market now we'd ever manage to break below that. But that's Bitcoin, and it always surprises everybody every day. So but if price of Bitcoin did eventually come down and start to test these levels, I think maybe we'd then start seeing these sort of prices anyway for Luna anyway. And so that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to go over today, just kind of explain the situation. Some of you guys maybe who haven't had the time to kind of catch up and see what happened last night, you might have looked at your portfolio and seen that some of your altcoins were down 20%, and well, here's an explanation to know why. So so thanks for listening, guys, and until next time, bye.